Minnesota Vikings and I can't get it. I'm like, you know what? Come on over to the Discord and I'll play whatever game you want. But you got to be a Pick 10 pundit, obviously. You got to be a Pick 10 pundit, but come over to the Discord. Sometimes we air games just out there, just be aired. But if you want to see the Minnesota Vikings game, let me know. If you want to see the Raiders game, let me know. Ravens games, let me know. We'll air it for you over there on the Discord. So click on the link below, join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord. Also, guys, like the live stream if you guys are enjoying anything, hate it, do whatever, interact with it. Sharing is caring at the end of the day, share the stream as well. But most importantly, comment below. Comment below. This is a live interactive show. I see all your comments. I try to address as many comments as I can throughout the show, just like Laura here. Laura says, good afternoon. I say, good after you, madam. Hope you're having a grand old day, Laura. I'm glad you come in here as much as you can. You are starting becoming every dayer, Laura. Definitely appreciate that. And Skull Nation, Skull Nation. We got to give a shout out to the big Skull Nation because they might have the biggest comeback of this whole season. They might be upsetting some people. We talked about that yesterday. But today, guys, it is Factor Crap Thursday. We got to speak a little bit of fact. We got to speak a little bit of crap in there. We're going to discuss it. Is it a fact or is it a crap? But we got to welcome the man, Derek, in the chat. Says, what up, big dog? What's up, Derek? Hope you're having a grand old day too, man. You're starting to be an everyday. I'm starting to see your name pop up a hell of a lot more, Derek. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are joining us. But the man, the myth, the legend is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend, the CFO, the Big Skin Pundits, Mr. John Pebbles himself. He says, Big Skin Pundits, get you some. Yes, sir. If you guys want to become a Big Skin Pundit, click on the link below. Get yourself some free merch. This merch did not go out this quarter. It was a heather gray long sleeve t-shirt with the Man Hour logo on the shoulder and the big retro look on the back. I actually just got mine in the mail today, but John and Jim and Casey and the other John and Patrick all got theirs weeks ago. I don't know why it took so long to get mine, but whatever, it is what it is. I ordered mine well before them because I wanted to test it out and see how it looked before I sent it out, but it is what it is. But if you guys would like to support the show, besides just watching it and hitting the like button, click on the subscribe button, become a Pigskin Pundit. But today, like I said, guys, it is Factor Crap Thursday here. We're going to speak a little bit of facts, speak a little bit of crap in here, but I want to talk about our title segment of today's show. The title segment of today's show is Worst to First. It seems that every year in the NFL, we have teams that go from worst in their division to first place into playoff contending teams. Last season, obviously, there were 8 last place teams. Finished last in the NFC or the AFC North. The Titans finished 6-11, finishing last in the South. The Chargers went 5-2, finishing last in the West. The Commanders went 4-13, finishing last in the NFC East. The Bears went 7-10, finishing last in the NFC North. The Panthers went 2-15, ouch, finishing last in the NFC South. And the Cardinals finished last in the West, finishing with a record of 4-13. So when I put out those names, put out those teams' names, guys, what team do you guys think can go from worst to first? Meaning last in the division, last place, fourth place to a first place division champion, right? First things first is we can scratch some names off of the list real quick there. Patriots, not going to happen. Chargers, not going to happen. Commanders, not going to happen. Panthers, sorry, I love you, but not going to happen. Cardinals, I had some faith, but not going to happen. So I've narrowed it down to 3 teams that I could possibly think that could go from worst to first. And one of the teams that I think that could go from worst to first is the Cincinnati Bengals. Even though the Cincinnati Bengals did finish in last place in their division last season, they still finished at 9-8 last season, guys. They were a 9-8 team with a backup, if not third string quarterback in there, and they still competed week after week after week. Now the AFC North is very, very competitive. Let's not get that twisted. The AFC is very, very competitive. And even with 9, 10, 11 wins, they could easily probably jump up into that NFC North battle, right? I think the winner of that division in the AFC North is going to have about 12 wins this season. And I think the Bengals could realistically kind of meet that 11, 12 win mark. But I do not see them jumping over the Ravens in that division. So I do not see the Ravens or the Bengals going from worst to first, but I think this is the team that has the most potential, right? This is the team that, even though they don't go from worst to first, if they make it into the playoffs, they can make some noise in this playoffs. They're a team that you don't want to play in the playoffs if they make it to the playoffs. We're going to talk a lot about the Bengals coming up here, but the Bengals is a contender, right? They are a contender. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think they are a contender. Next team up are the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are a team that has basically restructured their whole organization, right? No more Derrick Henry, brand new head coach, brand new general manager, brand new defense. They added pieces on the offense. They finally gave Will Levis the keys to the kingdom, bring in Calvin Ridley, bring in L'Jarius Sneed, right? They're adding a bunch of outside pieces and really making a really, really good roster, to be honest. The Titans have a lot of buzz around them, guys. They are kind of the talk of the AFC South right now. Even though they finished 6-11 last season, I think they were in a lot more games than they were out of. They lost a total of 5 one-score games last season, guys. If the ball bounces one way or the other, we're talking about them winning the division instead of the Texans. We're talking about them being in second place instead of the Colts. The ball bounces one way or the other, they are up there. But this season, they had the 27th ranked easiest schedule in the NFL. So not only do they have an easy schedule, they are improved on defense, improved on offense, and they got some confidence. They got a little swag about them. One of the real things in the NFL is all about confidence. It's all about swag. You know, when the analysts and the coaches and the players say we got hot at the right time? No, we started playing free and loose and we had confidence in ourselves. That's what it is. Everybody in the NFL game has the ability to be great. From Tua to Will Levis to Aaron Rodgers to Patrick Mahomes, everybody has the ability to be great. It's a matter if you have that confidence in yourself to be great week after week after week. And when an NFL team, quote, gets hot, they're playing with confidence. And right now the Tennessee Titans are playing with a lot of confidence. They are a potential that could go from worst to first, I think, with the 6-11 record last season. 27th easiest schedule. The last team on my list that I think that could go from worst to first are the Chicago Bears. And I know this is kind of low-hanging fruit or whatever, but the Bears did finish last season with 7-10. Just like the Cincinnati Bengals, they were very competitive in their division, even though the record may not show it. The Bears came on late last season. The last 7 to 8 games, the Bears were them. Their defense looked good. Their offense looked better. They had confidence in themselves. They were coming out with a little bit of swagger. This offseason, they said, see you later, Justin Fields. Let's bring in Caleb Williams. Let's bring in Keenan Allen. Let's bring in DeAndre Swift, right? Plus, with the already stout defense that they had, guys, the Chicago Bears are a very, very good possibility going from first to worst, or some worst to first, I should say. On the bright side, they do have the 3rd easiest schedule in the NFL going into this season, and the defense seemingly being to be picked up right where they left off in the 2023 NFL season. Obviously, with the new quarterback, there's a lot of hype around the Chicago Bears, right? There's a lot of hype saying Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. So out of those 8 teams, who do I think has the best chance of going from worst to first? The Titans, the Bears, or the Bengals? To be honest, guys, I think it is the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Bengals have the best opportunity to go from worst to first because they finished 9-8 last season without Joe Burrow. Later in Factor Crap, when we talk about Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow is the deciding factor for the Cincinnati Bengals week in and week out. When Joe Burrow is in there, the Cincinnati Bengals look like a totally different team. They have that swagger. They have that it about them. They are the real deal. Without Joe Burrow in there, the Bengals are still a 9-win team. So you add somebody in like Joe Burrow, that could be 11 wins. That could be 12 wins. Hell, that could be 13 wins. They do have the 6th hardest schedule in the NFL, but I like the Cincinnati Bengals. I like their potential. So, guys, out of the 8 teams that finished in last place last season, the Patriots, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Tennessee Titans, the LA Chargers, the Washington Commanders, the Chicago Bears, the Carolina Panthers, the Arizona Cardinals. Who do you guys think could potentially go from worst to first? From worst to first. John says, crap if you think the Bears completely turned it around. They're playing for third. Listen, the Bears can completely turn things around, John, and they're still not going to be a playoff team. Like the Bears are heading in the right direction. They are building their core. They're building from within. They have a good defense. They got good offensive weapons. They finally think they have their quarterback right. To be determined. They have a lot of potential, right? Derek thinks it's Arizona. Derek thinks Arizona has the best potential to go from worst to first. And earlier last week, when I was watching some more Arizona Cardinals games, Derek, I was really breaking them down, watching Kyler Murray interact with his teammates and the rest of the rookies and trying to like pick and choose. I was kind of impressed with the Arizona Cardinals on the field. However, their schedule is not very favorable, right? They play a team like obviously like the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks all twice. And I think then they play the Saints, and then they play the Falcons and the Bucks, if I'm not mistaken. I think they play the South. They have a very, very tough schedule. And I think if they play an A-plus game for 17 games this season, they're still only an 8 or 9 win team. And it's going to take 11 wins to win that division. I think the Rams and the 49ers kind of had that 11, 12 win mark in them this season. But I do like the Arizona Cardinals. I think they are going to surprise some people this season. They're not going to make a playoff run. They're not going to go really deep in the season, right? But I think they are going to shock some people. John thinks Carolina has the best chance to go from worst to first. John, I can see why you would say that, right? I can see why you could say Carolina, because people are deeming the NFC South the worst division in football, right? And I'm going to take it one step further, and I think they're the most overlooked division in football. Because when you look at the NFC South, yes, you have the Carolina Panthers, 2-win team from last season. Yes, you had the Falcons, a 7-win team from last season. Yes, you had the Saints, an 8-win team from last season. Yes, you had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a 9-win team from last season, right? All underneath those double-digit wins from last season. But they got a lot better this offseason. The whole division in a whole got a lot better. Plus, they got pretty easy slated games as well. It would not shock me one bit if we see the Saints at 12 wins this season. It would not shock me one bit if we see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 11, 12 wins this season. It would not shock me one bit if the Atlanta Falcons are at 9 wins again. It would not shock me one bit if the Carolina Panthers are at 6 wins this season. They are a better division as a whole. So as Carolina did get better, right? Another year for head coach, or they actually got a new head coach, right? But another year for Bryce Young, another year as the whole offensive things, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I think that is a reach, John. I think that is a reach because I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Saints have really deep playoff rosters. So I validate your opinion and your thoughts, but I don't see it, right? I just don't see it. And then Laura says if she's thinking the Bengals, which I think the Bengals are as well. I think the Bengals have the best opportunity. She says if Joe stays healthy, it could be a possibility that the Bengals go from worst to first. And really, 2 more wins for the Bengals last season. They're first place in the division. finished 9-8 as a fourth place. What? I mean, you get 11 wins this season. That's first place in the division, more than likely. More than likely. Casey Morgan's in the chat. What's up, Casey? He says Cincinnati didn't have Joe most of the season last year. In a few games they had him, he was broken. And it's still out. And we're going to go deep in the Bengals here shortly here in the Factor Crap guys coming up here in about 5 to 10 minutes. But yes, I think Cincinnati has the best opportunity to go from worst to first. I think they had the best chance. Jay Jett is in the chat. What's up, Jay? Oh, hope you're having a grand old day. And John says it is not the Chargers. Chargers do not have an opportunity to go from worst to first because they will always be bottom feeders. Not wrong. Casey says, I can't see the Bears hit 500, but I don't see them as a Super Bowl team either. So the Bears, I had them as one as my 3, right? That I thought that has an opportunity or the best opportunity to go from worst to first. And they finished 7-10 last season, right? They got their franchise quarterback. And I see Matt Henry saying Caleb is as advertised, and I don't think so. Go back there and watch the full preseason games, not the highlights, not just him completing passes. Go back to the Chicago Bears preseason games, whether it's week 1, week 2, or week 3, not the Hall of Fame game because he didn't play, obviously. But look at those games. Tell me that Caleb Williams jumps off the screen at you, drive after drive, play after play. He has spurts of greatness. Do not get that twisted. He has spurts of being great, Matt. He has spurts of where, like, okay, I can see that. But once he does that one play, he is back down to a below average, just a game managing quarterback. I want to preface this by I am defending Caleb, but also criticizing him at the same time, right? Many other Chicago Bears fans, I watched a show called I think it's Ken and Ken in the morning or something to that effect. But they have a couple Packers fans and a Bears fan and sometimes a Falcons and a Lions fan. It's a kind of a revolving door for the fourth guy. But the main host is a Chicago Bears fan, and he is putting the Chicago Bears up on this pedestal where I don't think that they rightfully deserve this pedestal, right? I mean, we talk about the Jets, about, the Jets are Super Bowl champions because they got Aaron Rodgers, they got Randall Cobb, they got this last season, right? Aaron Rodgers goes down and the whole team falls apart. Like, what? This year, much of the same thing. Aaron Rodgers is back, Super Bowl, baby. Just prove it. Prove it to me. I'm not saying Caleb Williams is bad. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is Caleb Williams has a lot of room to grow. He has a lot of room to put these spurts of good plays into drives, into spurts of great drives, into great games. He has a lot of room to grow still. He has to grow. Where are we at? Matt says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon. I didn't mean to just come up and jam right at you, Matt, but I saw that comment like, no, he's not as advertised. I mean, he is good. He's just not there yet. John says, I'm finally catching one of these. Yes, sir, John. Every Monday through Friday, 2:30 East Coast time, except for tomorrow. Or Monday. I'm going back home for the weekend to see my mom and dad and my sister and her new little baby Layla. We're going to see that. We're going to see that. John thinks the Bucs win the NFC South. I think so as well. And Matt thinks that Chicago has the best opportunity to go from worst to first because Caleb Williams is advertised. And don't worry about preseason. It's practice. We just talking about practice. We're not talking about the games. We're talking about practice, says Matt. Slow it down, baby. And Laura, as a Skull Nation here, as a Viking head, she says the Bears are going to come in hot this season. Don't sleep on them. And you see, I think that's the reason why the Bears cannot go from worst to first, they're Laura, Matt, and whoever else thinks the Bears can potentially go from worst to first, is because people are hyping up the Bears. Because they are on Hard Knocks. Because that's all we've heard off season was Chicago Bears, Chicago Bears, Chicago Bears. It's been beaten into our head over and over and over again. So I don't think anybody is sleeping on the Chicago Bears. Now, if there wasn't the Hard Knocks on them, now if there wasn't the hype built around them, if they're if they're just out there doing their business like the Seattle Seahawks are. How much Seattle Seahawks news have we heard in the last 3 weeks? None. If the Bears were just out there doing what they do, getting better, then I think they would, quote, come in hot and sneak up on people and then have the opportunity to become great or become first to worst or from worst to first. But with all the hype around them, with all this, slow it down. Slow it down. Let's not forget about the Green Bay Packers. Matt also says Caleb Williams will have some growing pains. He will have growing pains, and I think that's what the people, the general fan base, the general Chicago Bears people, the Brandon BC Combs, we're going to have him on a Man Hour After Hours next Saturday when the show starts back up. People need to understand that Caleb Williams is going to go through growing pains. He is not going to be great coming right off the bat. He is not going to be great firing on all cylinders. It is going to take time, and we need to slow it down, baby. Slow it down. John, Mr. Pigskin Pundit himself, says Bears are going to be that same as last year. Solid defense and some nice receivers, but no O-line help for Caleb. No O-line to help Caleb develop, but he'll be running for his life all year. Derek brings up a good point, says Caleb Williams has never played in Green Bay in the snow. Many people have not played in Green Bay in the snow. How has Jordan Love played in Green Bay in the snow? I'm not trying to discourage your comment there, Derek. I'm just trying to add some reinforcement. I don't think Jordan Love has played a snap in the snow in Green Bay. So, I mean, yeah, you can practice in the cold, you can do all this want, but playing in a game in the snow in Lambeau is different than practicing in it. I'm just saying. And Casey says it's going to be Johnny Manziel 2.0 hype. What? And he's Dak. Hang on. Who is Dak? Caleb Williams is Dak? Meaning a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, John? Or he's like Jordan Love, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Got to narrow it down, baby. Got to narrow it down. But, guys, it is Thursday. And we have a little game here on Thursdays. It's called a little bit of fact and a little bit of crap. I've been out there trolling the old interwebs just like I do each and every day. I sit there and I troll. If you guys follow me on any social medias, you know that I'm an habitual troll. I try to get people's goats, but I've been out there putting some feeders out there, seeing what people are saying, some what people are thinking, and I have 4 factor craps that I want to discuss with you guys today. I have 4. So factor crap is very, very simple. I put out a statement, and it's a fact. You agree with it, or it is a crap. And you're like, nope, that is wrong. And you can tell me that I'm wrong. I don't care. I'm wrong all the time. I'm married. I'm used to being wrong. Let's just be honest. If you're married, you know. But just tell me why. Why do you disagree or why do you agree, guys? Factor crap every Thursday right here at Man Hour, 3 p.m. East Coast time. So the first factor crap of the day is we got talked about the old Pittsburgh Steelers. We have to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what is going on in Pittsburgh. So as you guys know by now, Russell Wilson has been named the starter. Russell Wilson was brought in by Mike Tomlin from the Denver Broncos via, I believe it was waivers, wasn't it? He was officially cut. Also brought in Justin Fields, but that was via trade. Playing both of these quarterbacks around $1 million to $2 million respectively. Pretty much all offseason, we thought that Russell Wilson was going to be the man, the myth, the legend out there. Earlier in the preseason, I believe it was the first day of pads, he Russell Wilson injured his calf. He was ultimately sidelined with a calf strain pretty much all of preseason. He played a total of 25 snaps in preseason games. So, guys, is it a fact or is it a crap that Mike Tomlin naming Russell Wilson was a good move for the Pittsburgh Steelers? When I first heard this, Casey and I were talking offline here, and he's like, who do you think the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be? I ultimately said I think it was going to be Russ, but I also said, I added a caveat in there that I don't think that they're going to say anything till week 1. Why did I say week 1? Because there is no advantage of releasing who is going to start quarterback for you a week before the game. Actually, it's 10 days before their first game. There's no reason, there's no advantage of them announcing a starter. The only advantage it is to the opponent that they're going to play, the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos the following week. Now the Atlanta Falcons know that Russell Wilson is the starting quarterback. We know how to prepare for him. A little less scramble ability, a little bit more arm strength, a little bit more accuracy. So we're going to probably convert 60% of our energy into the secondary, right? Don't have to worry about keeping a quarterback in the pocket. But throughout this season, this preseason, like I said, Russ only had 25 total snaps. In those 25 snaps, he was 10 for 12 for 73 yards. Justin Fields played a hell of a lot more snaps. He was 19 for 27 passing for 199 yards. They both did score touchdowns on each of the final preseason game after basically looking shit for the rest of the thing. Guys, I think this is a fact that they made a good move. I think this is a fact that they did name a starter. Let me cross that out. Cross that out. Whatever, right? I think Russell Wilson gives them the best ability to win this season. I think Russell Wilson gives them the best ability to make it to the playoffs. I think Russell Wilson gives them the best ability to make it to the AFC Championship game. But the answer that I'm going to give is crap. I'm going to say this was not a good move for the Pittsburgh Steelers because of the simple fact of what Mike Tomlin said after the fact. Mike Tomlin basically said Russell Wilson is starting because of what he's done in the past. Not in Denver, but in Seattle. So 4 or 5 years ago. We are naming him a starter because of what he did 6, 7 when he went to the Super Bowl. That's why he's starting. And that's why I think it is crap. I think it is crap because of what Mike Tomlin said. I think it's a good move naming Russ starting. I think Russ has the best. Russ has the lowest ceiling, but the highest floor. Justin kind of gives them the wow factor, I think. And the Steelers aren't going to be a wow factor team. I think they're going to be grounded and pounded. Give it to Najee, give it to Warren, and let them eat. So, guys, factor crap. Did Mike Tomlin make a good move naming Russ the starter? I'm thinking it is crap. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Laura says crap. Just because it's Russell Wilson. It is crap because it's Russell Wilson. Okay. I can get down with that, Laura. I can get down with that. John thinks it's a fact. John thinks it's a fact that it is a good move. It is a good move. In case he thinks they're giving up on the season. Giving up on the season, says Casey. Are they really? I don't know. Daniel Hawker's in the house. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Danny? Hope you had a grand old day. And Coop says you're the fake JJRS, whatever that means. And then John says blitz him. The proof is in the pudding. So John is saying if you were to blitz Russell Wilson, he'll show you that he's not a good starter. Derek says the Broncos picking up the bill for it. Cheap option facts. Yeah, what the Bills the Broncos are still paying him what $45 or $48 million, something crazy like that. Getting paid to play on a different team. Casey says it is crap unless you want to tank for the first round. So Casey thinks by starting Russell Wilson, the Pittsburgh Steelers are throwing in the towel for this season. They want a first overall pick. They want to draft Shadir Sanders. What? John says Russ will start the first 4 or 5 games unless he's approved is that guy. And I think you are correct, John. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have to start out hot. The Pittsburgh Steelers cannot afford to start off 0-2, 1-3, 0-3. They cannot afford that at all. So if they start off 0-2, like my girl Hannah Barrett is saying, she's saying that the Steelers are going to lose to the Falcons and lose to the Broncos the first 2 weeks. Spoiler alert, she's a Broncos fan. I think we're going to see Russ get benched and Justin Fields will be in there. When you look at the schedule, the first half of the season, these Pittsburgh Steelers have the 3rd easiest schedule in the NFL. The second half, they have the 3rd hardest schedule in the NFL, based off of last season. Take it how you will. Take that as you will. Derek says Fields got some extra times and tape to see how his teammates works on game days. Yeah, I mean, obviously, seeing how people react in game days is definitely totally different than preseason. Let's just be honest, or practice. So it is what it is. What it is. Pepe says, "Good move. If Russ balls out and Fields can sit and learn the system and improve, then you can trade. Then you can trade Russ while his value is still high." So this is the problem with this comment, Pepe, is Russell Wilson and Justin Fields are both on 1-year deals. So after this season, they are going to be free agents unless they decide to franchise tag them, which I would not anticipate Justin Fields or Russell Wilson getting franchise tag unless one of them have a MVP caliber season. With that being said, the only trade value you will get is if you trade them before the Halloween trade deadline, which is what, week 10, I think it is. That's the only way you're going to get any trade value from either of those guys. And obviously you're not going to trade your starter. So you're not going to get pretty much anything out of either of them, but maybe a 7th or 6th round picks tops. Unless a massively quarterback goes down, I guess, right? Dak Prescott goes down or somebody. But guys, fact or crap, was Russell Wilson being named starter a good or a bad move for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Next fact or crap here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Guys, it's 103 degrees here in Louisville, Kentucky. And we got a football game at 6 o'clock. It's going to be hot. But Jamar Chase, that's not it. That's not it. Get that off there. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase was absent again from Bengals practice last Tuesday. Jamar Chase has missed all of preseason because he wants to get paid. He wants those dollar bills. Yo, he has been, quote, doing a hold-in. The hold-in is what the cool kids do now. We're going to come to practice. We're going to cause a scene, but we're not going to do any drills. We're not going to do 7-on-7. We're just going to come to meetings and eat the free food. So, guys, is it going to be a fact or is it going to be a crap that the Cincinnati Bengals need Jamar Chase this season to be successful? So, like I said, guys, Jamar Chase has not set foot on the practice field for the Cincinnati Bengals all off season. 0 preseason games. He wasn't even at the complex on Tuesday. So, right off the top of the of the head, I was like, man, yes, the Cincinnati Bengals need Jamar Chase. Because I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I vividly remember Jamar Chase getting like 5 tutties against us that regular season game the year that the Cincinnati Bengals went to the Super Bowl. I think he still caught another touchdown pass. We cannot stop that guy whatsoever. So, obviously, when your mind says yes, you have to dig in there. You have to give yourself some validity. You have to give yourself some stats. You have to understand, why am I saying this, right? So last season, Jamar Chase did lead the team with 1,216 receiving yards with 7 tutties. He did have 100 in catches with 145 targets. Now, this is where these stats kind of got interesting, right? The Bengals are 3-2 when Jamar Chase is not on the field. So when Jamar Chase is off the field, he's missed 5 games in his NFL career. They are 3-2. They are a winning team with Jamar Chase not on the field. with Jamar Chase on the field, they're obviously a really, really good team. They're 28-17. Joe Burrow, his quarterback, has 101 QBR and 76 touchdowns when Jamar Chase plays. When Jamar Chase doesn't play, you would anticipate Joe Burrow's stats would be terrible, right? No. Joe Burrow's stats are still 99.9 QBR with 8 touchdowns, just to 3 interceptions. Joe Burrow is also 3-1 without Jamar Chase with the Cincinnati Bengals. Starting to act like we don't really need Jamar Chase, right? Really don't need that cancer. Really don't need him to be holding out. Yes, he's a good receiver, but the stats are kind of saying, we really don't need Jamar Chase. But this offseason, they lost Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd, I think, was the glue to that receiving core. Tyler Boyd, I think, was that X factor on that Cincinnati Bengals team. Yes, they still have T. Higgins. Yes, they have Drew Sample still and Mike Krzyzewski still as well. All really, really good tight ends and receivers to round out that core, but missing Tyler Boyd is going to be a really big hurt. The defense is still pretty good. Obviously, the defense alone carried them to about 7 wins last season. Now, factor crap, do the Cincinnati Bengals need Jamar Chase on the field this season to be successful? And I'm going to say crap. I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals need Jamar Chase on the field to win a lot of games this season. Now, don't get it twisted. It is nice to have a talent like him on the field. It is nice to have that security blanket. It is nice to have that number one threat on the field. But they can win without him. The proof is in the pudding. Jamar Chase is 3-3, Joe Burrow is 3-1 without Jamar Chase on the field, and the Cincinnati Bengals as a whole is 3-2 without Jamar Chase on the field. What does that tell you? That the X factor for the Cincinnati Bengals is Joe Burrow. Right? Joe Burrow is 3-1 without Jamar Chase. When the Cincinnati Bengals don't have Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow, they're 0-1. And then if you go even deeper than that, the Cincinnati Bengals are 6-8 without Joe Burrow. So when you don't have your franchise quarterback, Mr. Joe Cool Burrow, I can sell, they're a losing team. The Bengals are a good team. They have built a really, really good roster. Having Jamar Chase would be nice, but he's not needed. Now, obviously, to win a Super Bowl, you're probably going to need Jamar Chase. Let's put a caveat on that. But right now, to win a lot of games, to win 9, 10, 11 games, it's crap. You don't need Jamar Chase. You don't need him. So, guys, factor crap. Do the Cincinnati Bengals need Jamar Chase this season to be successful? Pepe's like, Jamar who? I guess, right? Casey says Chase is chasing the Chase ego is kind of on borderline of hitting Diggs' attitude. And to be honest, like I've kind of known in this a little bit. Like I'm starting to kind of sense that, right? Ever since Justin Jefferson got his dollar bill, since CeeDee Lamb got his paid, since Tyreek Hill has gotten paid, right? Jamar Chase is kind of like, hey, what about me? Y'all forget about me? And when you look at tiers of receivers, right? I think you have JJ. I think you have CeeDee Lamb up at the top. Then you have like Tyreek Hill, AJ Brown. You can probably put Waddle in there. And I think Jamar Chase might fall down on that tier 3 level to be honest. Now, he is definitely at the very high end of tier 3, knocking on the door of tier 2. And if you put him in tier 2, I wouldn't be mad at all. But he's not a tier 1 receiver. He's just not. It is not like the Bengals are undefeated when he plays. When he doesn't play and Joe Burrow plays, they're actually pretty good still. What did I say? They were 3-3, 3-1. It was wins over the Steelers, wins over the Lions, and wins over the Browns. All really good teams, all in 2022. Really good teams. Lord thinks it is a crap. She says the Bengals don't need Jamar Chase. Derek says, fact, Baltimore and Cleveland D's are no joke. So Derek is saying that the Bengals need Jamar Chase. And like I said, I would like to have his talent on the field, but I don't like Casey said, I don't think I want his ego. We have a good team built around. We gave away Tyler Boyd to kind of make room for you, Jamar Chase, to pay you, and now you're demanding money. You're not even snapped on the field. Did we make a mistake? But Derek, you are right. The Baltimore and Cleveland defense are pretty good. You can throw the Steelers defense in there too. Every defense in that division, honestly, is pretty good. Pepe brings up a great point here. He says, if the Chiefs can win without Tyreek Hill, then the Bengals can win without Lamar. This is 100% correct. Pepe with the comment of the day right here. This is true. When Tyreek Hill left to go to Miami from the Kansas City Chiefs, what was it, 2020, 2021, whatever year it was, I sat right here on the Man Hour with Beastie Combs, and you thought the world was coming to an end. He was dogging me left and right. Oh, Tyreek Hill don't want to be a Chief no more. You guys are suck, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And I sat here and I said the Chiefs are going to be better off. Addition by subtraction. What did that lead? That led to a Super Bowl that year. Because the simple fact of the matter, when Tyreek Hill was on the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was starting to zero in on him. He was that security blanket. He was afraid to throw to other players, and he was forcing the ball. He was trying to force the ball to Tyreek Hill over and over and over again. It kept getting intercepted, dropped passes, stupid plays, and the Chiefs were not a very good team. Once Tyreek Hill left, Patrick Mahomes kind of took a breath, like a fresh breath there, like, oof, I don't have to worry about that no more. Now let me play ball. Maybe that's what that's what Joe Burrow needs. Maybe Pepe's right. Addition by subtraction, right? Maybe the Bengals can get over that hump, get back to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl without Jamar Chase. I think it is a crap. I think it is a crap. Casey says they don't need Chase. They have other decent receivers. T. Higgins can easily fill in. Not only do they have decent receivers, Casey, they got two really good tight ends. Drew Sample and Mike Gesicki, am I saying his name right? Are both really, really good. Really, really good. And Laura says nobody likes a flea. It seems like the ego has gotten the best of them. And that's like the fourth time we've seen this in the comments. Ego, ego, ego. He wants those dollar bills, y'all. He says, pay me. And Casey says the league has no clue what the Chiefs are about to do this year. The West receiver core is Mahomes, and they had to send to come into the league. Slow it down, Casey. But yes, the Chiefs do have a damn good receiving core. Damn good receiving core over there in Kansas City. Independence, Missouri is actually where they play. If you know, you know. Next up on this beautiful Factor Crap day here on this Thursday edition of Man Hour NFL Talk. We're live every Monday through Friday at 2:30 East Coast time. I'm taking Friday off. I'm taking my Monday off, however. But Tuesday, come back next week. NFL Week 1 is here, baby. We are 7 days away from the NFL season. But next up here on the Factor Crap, guys, we're going to talk about the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, quote, made a lot of noise last season. Many people thought this was a surprise for them for last season. Last year, the Green Bay Packers finished with 9 wins in 2023, winning a divisional round versus the Dallas Cowboys and ultimately losing to the San Francisco 49ers in the division championship game. So, guys, Factor Crap with the Green Bay Packers have more than 9.5 wins in 2024, a.k.a. 10 wins plus. Like I said, guys, the Green Bay Packers finished with 9 wins last season. With a brand new starting quarterback in Jordan Love. Yes, I know he was in the system, was first year starting. They had one of the youngest teams, if not the youngest teams in the NFL. The receiving core was all brand new, first year, second year players. The defense was young. Everybody was young on the Green Bay Packers, and somehow, some way, they still mustered up 9 wins. I sat here last year about this time, and I said, guys, look out for the Green Bay Packers. They have the highest ceiling but the lowest floor. I sat here and I said they're going to start out slow, but they're going to get it together. They're going to figure it out. They're going to get hot, right? And that is what happened. They started off, 0-4, 0-5, and they started to get hot. The snowball effect started to roll down the hill for the Green Bay Packers. This year, second year started Jordan Love back, right? Getting a little bit older, getting a little bit long in the tooth. The receiving core might be the best receiving core in all of NFL. Really, really good defense. Really, really good head coach. And they picked up Josh Jacobs this off season. Factor crack, guys, will the Green Bay Packers have more than 9.5 wins in 2024? That's 100% fact. That is 100% fact. I have them winning 12 to 13 games this season. I think the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love are the best team in the NFC at the end of this year. Obviously, right now, you can't give them the crown. You got to give it to the Lions. You got to give it to the Cowboys. You got to give it to the 49ers. But come the end of the year, guys, we are going to be talking a lot about the Green Bay Packers. We are going to be talking about how great Jordan Love is. We are going to be talking about Jordan Love being a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. We are going to be talking about Christian Watson being a top 5 receiver in the NFL. We are going to be talking about Josh Jacobs. Like, man, why couldn't the Raiders get this production out of him? We are going to be talking a lot about the Green Bay Packers this season, guys. This is 100% fact. This is a fact that the Green Bay Packers will have more than 9.5 wins this season. There's no doubt in my mind. The only way they could potentially not get 9.5 wins this season, aka 10 wins, is if Jordan Love goes down week 4 and misses the rest of the season. And even then, I still think they're a 9-win team. Guys, the Green Bay Packers are built for a lot of success for many, many, many years. Matt LaFleur and the general manager of the Green Bay Packers have done really, really good. They keep nailing the draft. The defense keeps getting better, and they're really, really young. Guys, this is a fact. They're good. They're good. They're good, but good. But Laura says, whoa, slow it down, baby. She says, crap. Green Bay sucks cheeseheads. She says, Green Bay Packers suck. No bias there at all from Laura. No way, Jose. But she says Green Bay Packers are suck. It is crap. They're not getting more than 9.5 wins. And John says the same thing. He says crap. John thinks the Packers are going to digress this season and maybe beat 9 or less wins. 9.5 is a little too high. Finished 9 wins last season. Rookie quarterback, air quotes there. But he says crap. And he definitely says no way they get 12 or 13 wins. And then he comes back and says, Lions, brother. We going to repeat and push the Super Bowl out of Mahomes' hands, baby. So, John, I have to tell you something. John. I redid my NFL picks today, earlier this morning. We're going to release them again tomorrow, right? Because when I first make my picks is well before preseason. Yes, it takes me most of preseason to break down the team because there's 32 of them, right? 32 days. Takes a lot of time to break down each team. But my records are basically sole predictions, a shot in the dark. First time around. Friday, I've watched damn near every preseason game, as much inter-squad footage as I could, and I've given a win-loss total for the rest of the season. I'm going to give you guys a spoiler. All right, John? In the NFC Championship game, I do have the Detroit Lions in there. Also have the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Do they make the Super Bowl? I actually do have them making the Super Bowl, John. I do like your Detroit Lions in postseason play. However, in regular season play, I think they're still only a 10-win team. 10-win team. Derek says, fact, Green Bay front office always puts together a good team, and it's a bad winner. I would say 12 wins. So let me ask you this question, Derek. I don't know which team you root for, whether it's the Packers or Lions or Chiefs or Raiders or whoever. A generalized question here. I think the Green Bay Packers are built for warm weather, right? They run a lot of spread offense. They have 4 receivers that should probably be on the field at all times. They run a spread offense, or they should be running a spread offense damn near every time. When you have a quarterback like Jordan Love performed last season, I think you need to get the ball in his hands and let him do work over and over and over again. I think the snow or bad winter, like you say, is going to hurt the Packers. Now, I am no weather expert. I've read the Farmers Almanac, and they do say it's going to be a wet winter. Whether that equivalents to snow or rain, wet winter. But if it's a snowy winter, I think that hurts the Packers, to be honest. And John says, I don't what? What don't I do, John? What do I now do? I don't watch all the preseason games. I watch most of them. I have the NFL Plus for a reason, because I go back and watch the condensed versions, and you can watch the side view and the back view of the whole game in about 35 minutes. So it's actually pretty nice. Pretty nice, John. Pretty nice. Derek's a Raiders fan. I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry. But the last factor crap game, guys. The last factor crap of the day. This is just me being selfish. This is just me curious to see if anybody thinks the way I think. But obviously, guys, week 1 for the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles are a Brazil game. It is an out-of-country game. We also have, 3 over-the-pond games over in Europe this year as well. So, guys, factor crap. Out-of-country games suck. Simple as that. Out-of-country games suck. Whether it's Brazil, whether it's Mexico, whether it's Europe, France, Canada, factor crap, guys. Out-of-country games suck. I hate out-of-country games. What do you guys think? Fact, you love out-of-country games, or crap, they suck? Fact, they suck. Crap, they don't suck. Jay says the Lions got the North this season. We'll see, John. Or Jay. We will see. LMAO has something to tell me. What do I have to tell you? I don't know. Must be over my head. I'm not following. Laura hates out-of-country games. Keep all the games in the USA, baby. USA. Derek says Josh Jacobs breaking tackles all over their division. And Jay likes the out-of-country games because it's Picasters. If it was the Detroit Lions, he'd be like, damn it, they suck. But since it's the Packers, he's like, okay, I like it. Fly them to Brazil. Maybe they'll get stuck at the border in customs, so we don't have to play them or something. And Derek says basketball is to blame for the international games. Yeah, because they obviously started playing in China when Yao Ming was in the league. Didn't baseball just play a series overseas as well? I forget where it was, but I want to say it was like Japan or China. But yeah, damn NBA. And Pepe says it's good for the NFL, bad for the fans. It is bad for the fans that want to go to the games, right? Like me and Arthur Brown last summer, we saw the Miami Dolphins, which he's a Miami Dolphins fans, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. We saw that they played each other. We were hyped. We're like, man, let's go to the game. Let's talk shit to each other. Less carpool. Let's have some fun. Boom! It's in freaking London. What? It is going to be a great season, Laura. It is going to be a great season. And Casey says, I know there's more. I know it's more to trying to get football worldwide, but they are just a hindrance to the players and can affect teams to force them to do them. So let me ask you this question. Because I know when I played in the CFL, if you had a felony and you were a American, or I think it was any type of criminal activity, whether it's criminal or a felony or a warrant, they would not let you into the country. Obviously, there's a lot of football players out there that are in trouble. Rashid Rice, Jordan Addison, all pending cases, all pending jail time cases. If the Vikings or Chiefs were to play overseas or in Canada, would those players be allowed to come in and play? Do they make like an exception? Like, oh, you're Rashid Rice, you can come, and it doesn't matter if you have a pending jail sentence. Right? I wonder how how that works. But guys, it's 3:30. We've been an hour. We are done for the week. It's been a good week. It's been a long week. With no show tomorrow, we'll do the recap on Saturday. No show on Monday. Back on Tuesday. We'll be Tuesday through Saturday next week. We'll have the Man Hours After Dark starting this next Saturday. What's that? September 6th or whatever it is. Be me, BC Combs, and Hoffy. But until next week, guys, NFL Week 1 is 1 week away. See you Tuesday. Enjoy the holiday. Be safe. We out.